So as Fortnite continues to grow in popularity, a lot of new players are coming into the game, myself included. So today I'll be sharing with you guys easy, effective tips to improve your skill in Fortnite. And keep in mind, I am no means a legend in this game. I am about an average player, but these tips are super easy for everyone to learn. So this first tip is for people that are often losing gunfights. Now the key to winning a gunfight in Fortnite is to move around and strafe, and what I mean by this is crouching or moving side to side. But especially, and I mean especially, make sure you abuse that jumping mechanic. In Fortnite you can jump extremely high, so while you're in the air you have a much better chance of getting your opponent with a headshot while you are above them, and they have a harder chance of hitting you. So use this to your advantage and make it hard for your opponent to hit you. This second tip is great for people who have less map awareness. When getting shot at, most people try to track down the source of the shooter. Well, yes, this is a good idea, but usually you're out in the middle of the open, so you have no cover. First, build yourself some cover, and most of the time building a base can intimidate your opponent. And it usually ends up being them putting pressure on you, which gives you the perfect time to attack. Alright, so coming in at number 3, this tip is for the more advanced and aggressive players. When rushing a base, people normally rush the base after the enemy starts building it. And this is the common mistake. Usually when I die, I spectate the person that killed me, and I usually watch them, say, rush a base or something. So they always usually rush it after it's being built. So this is wrong because one, your opponent has the advantage on you because they have height and they have walls to protect themselves, and you're usually out in the open. So always rush a base after it's done being built. Use the same material as them. For example, if the enemy is using wood, then build your staircase out of wood so your opponent can't hear you. This tip is actually really cool. I found it watching a streamer. I forget his name, but yeah, he basically used this trick on another guy, and he got the surprise attack on him and actually killed him. So this is a pretty effective tip, I would say. So this fourth tip is pretty simple, but when fighting in Loot Lake or any other body of water in Fortnite, and you end up killing your enemy, and you lose sight of their items, but if you angle your camera down, you can actually see under the water. So what I mean by this is if you angle your camera down, it actually looks like there's nothing there, there's no water, you just, everything's clear, so you can actually see across the whole lake, you can see other enemies and their items, so it makes it a whole lot easier. RPG, grenade launchers, and grenades are a very useful tool in Fortnite, but people commonly don't pick them up and leave them behind. Explosives are a great way for destroying bases and can easily, and I mean easily, win you the game. Especially for an RPG, it has many uses. You can rocket jump / ride, which is effective for getting to places, but also very fun. But using an RPG in close to mid-range combat will one-shot your opponent. And it is kind of rare to get an RPG or grenade launcher because they're usually only found in chests. And that's like an uncommon time when you actually get one. But when you do have them, make sure you get to use them in close to mid-range combat, because people normally just kind of use them for destroying bases, but they're also good for fighting in close range. But make sure like you're like kind of far away from your opponent, because I have had many times where I blow myself up when I'm trying to use them. So just make sure you're far away. And also when you're trying to rocket jump / ride, don't do it like if you're like the last couple people alive. Just do it kind of like if you're messing around at the beginning, because like it's easily to die from that. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, don't forget to pick up those explosives. So tip number 7 is going to be a pretty obvious tip, but not the new players. But basically, wood is a very easy material to get. It's pretty much everywhere you look, trees and houses and stuff like that. And yeah, but it's not very strong. When you get shot at, it only takes a few shots to break down the wall, and it's not very good if you come down to the top 5, because you do not want your base being made out of wood when other people probably have rocket launchers and stuff like that. So you want to be getting 200 plus brick and metal as early in the game as possible. So brick is, you get the most brick from breaking the stones or the rocks all over the map, and you get the most metal from cars and the like trucks and like the big containers. So make sure to get lots of that. I usually have around 500 of each resource by the end of like the top 10. Yeah, because wood's more for an early game for looting and building up the houses and stuff, and kind of defending, but later on you want brick and metal. So this tip is super simple, but it's just, you have to remember, because it's a key component in Fortnite to have materials, because this allows you to defend yourself. These next 2 tips are basically just bonus because they're pretty small and they're easy to get the hang of. But basically, if you watch some of the pros and the good streamers play Fortnite, they can build a huge base in a matter of seconds just because they got the building mechanic down pat. So basically, you just want to practice building as fast as possible, because in a firefight you want to build a base to give yourself cover. But yeah, this does take some getting used to because you have to cover all 4 sides, your front, your side, your 2 sides, and the back. And yeah, so you just want to practice this over and over again. I'm starting to get the hang of the game as soon as the building, but it does take some getting used to. Alright, and this second bonus tip is basically just being aware of the storm. So in Fortnite, there's a thing called the storm, and that basically is like the thing that takes damage away from you or health away from you as you're trying to get to the next circle, because the circle closes in when there's less and less people. But you basically just want to keep aware of this. So this is like a pretty like basic tip, but some new players and sometimes even me, I don't time my runs out properly, so I'm stuck left in the storm, losing lots of health. But yeah, you just want to be mindful of it because it does move in faster than you think. So yeah, basically these are the 2 bonus tips. So unfortunately, we have come to the end of the video, and that wraps up the 6 tips on how to improve your skill in Fortnite. And now I know it was a very short video, and for me not posting in about a month and a half, I am sorry about that. But I keep saying that, but it's not changing just because, one, I just don't really have the motivation to make videos that much anymore, and I'm running out of ideas. But since Fortnite is coming a big kind of popular trend, I will be trying to make some Fortnite videos. More tips, I'd say, because Fortnite gameplay is kind of boring considering I'm not very good at the game. I'll probably average, but it's still probably not very fun to watch. But yeah, so this is just part 1 of probably the tips. The next video I'll probably make is going to be like a part 2, probably another 6 tips on how to improve your skill in Fortnite. I'll probably have like a mini series on just Fortnite videos, since it is, yes, I already said, becoming a big popular trend. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button for more Fortnite content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.